COMELEC declared Venezuela's firm Smartmatic the winner in the month-long bidding.
Not even if fraud is committed, we would be able to trace it.
The Philippine presidential and vice presidential elections of 2010 were held on May 10, 2010. The ruling president of the Philippines, Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo, was barred from seeking re-election by the 1987 Constitution, thus necessitating an election to select the 15th president.
The face of politics in our nation has changed forever. Changed forever.
The national elections in the Philippines are held every 6 years, each on the second Monday of May. This was also the first time that the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, instituted the full automation of elections pursuant to Republic Act 9369, an act authorizing the Commission on Elections to use an automated election system in the national or local elections and in subsequent national and local electoral exercises. The plurality voting system is used to determine the winner. The candidate with the highest number of votes, whether or not one has a majority, wins the presidency. The vice presidential election is held on the same rules, and voters may split their ticket. The results of the congressional canvassing showed that Senator Benigno Aquino III of the Liberal Party won by a plurality. Meanwhile, in the election for the vice presidency, Makati Mayor Jejomar Binay of the Partido Demokratiko Pilipino Lakas ng Bayan, or PDP Laban, defeated Senator Mar Rojas of the Liberal Party in the second narrowest margin in the history of vice presidential elections. Aquino and Binay were proclaimed in a joint session of Congress on June 9 and took their oaths on June 30, 2010.
Maraming mga puro-puro, haka-haka na hindi po mangyayari ang araw nito. Ngunit taliwas mga kaibigan sa lahat ng iyon, nangyayari na po, nangyari na. Ang pagpasok ng bagong administrasyon pagkatapos po ng 9 na taon, 5 buwan at 10 araw ng panunungkulan ng nakalipas na administrasyon.
In 2007, RA 9369, or the Election Automation Law, was passed to encourage transparency, credibility, fairness, and accuracy of elections. An automated electoral process on a nationwide scale was first planned for the 2010 elections.
Tuloy na raw po ang pagiging automated o pagkasa-automatiko ng eleksyon sa susunod na taon.
In the 2010 automation of votes, the multinational company Smartmatic was awarded the contract to supply the hardware and software for electronic voting. What exactly is Smartmatic?
This afternoon, the COMELEC Special Bids and Awards Committee declared Venezuelan corporation Smartmatic as the winning bidder.
Muli pong nanalo ang Smartmatic sa bidding.
In 2009, the COMELEC awarded the contract to supply election materials and technology to Smartmatic. Even if the Venezuelan company did not meet many of the required qualifications alongside the other bidders. According to the Philippine Star, Smartmatic is a bad word in Europe, the U.S., and even in its home, Venezuela. The seller of voting machines is notorious for corporate and product opacity. Its gadgets flunk test runs and actual elections. Chicago has blacklisted it for the poll fiasco of 2006. Among the international exposers of Smartmatic's illegal rackets around the world is political researcher Alec Boyd. Alec Boyd wrote in 2012, Smartmatic is a private company specifically created for intentional manipulation of electoral rules. The only time Smartmatic has participated in an electoral process in the U.S., it was deemed a disaster. And in the ensuing probe, it refused to collaborate with U.S. authorities. The company has won hundreds of millions worth of contracts since 2004, mainly from unaccountable governments of underdeveloped countries where democratic tenets such as free and fair elections, transparency, and checks and balances are completely and utterly disregarded. In that, it has been tremendously successful. The man behind Smartmatic? Lord Mark Malloch Brown.
The technology is there now for everybody to vote in this coming presidential election.
According to the Manila Times, the current chairman of Smartmatic was the close media advisor and speechwriter of the late Corazon Aquino. He was then disguised as a foreign correspondent in the snap elections that led to the 1986 People Power Revolution in the Philippines.
Devoted pretty much all of my career to working on the promotion of democracy in elections. I was an advisor here in the 1980s to Cory Aquino.
Mark Malloch Brown may even have played a very crucial role in Cory Aquino's ascent to power in 1986. The book Alpha Dogs by James Harding narrates in detail how much of Cory's media campaign and propaganda were handled by Mark Malloch Brown. Sources among Aquino's subsequent cabinet claim that Malloch Brown had developed a close relationship with Cory and her family, subsequently influencing an ambidextrous campaign that was dirty on one hand and holy on the other. It was Malloch Brown's propaganda strategy that Cory adopted: the yellow ribbon, the demonization of Marcos, tactics that her son Benigno III continues to use 3 decades later. Interestingly enough, Benigno S. Aquino III is the first president of the Republic whose votes were counted through the first automated system invented, manufactured, and undertaken by Smartmatic.
My God, I hate drugs.